Welcome to the Political Mechanic. My name is Stephen Thane. In 1858, Abraham Lincoln issued a warning that still echoes today. A house divided against itself cannot stand. He was not describing ordinary disagreement. He was describing a people so fractured that they could no longer reason together, no longer trust one another, and no longer shared common ground. They didn't even talk to each other. A nation divided at that level cannot sustain limited constitutional government. Today, we face a similar question here in Idaho. At one time, the Republican Party was controlled mostly by the business wing of the party. But now, over the last 10 years, the populist wing is dominating the party, but it has fractions that is causing infighting. So the question is, can we create enough unity within the Idaho Republican Party to drive back the rise of democratic socialism, like what we're seeing in New York with Mamdani, where he is promising free bus rides, free child care, and free almost everything he can think of. And they fell for this. We might say, well, Idahoans are smarter than that. But we fell for the same arguments when we expanded Medicaid just a few years ago. It's the same pattern. So socialism grows when those who believe in limited government are divided. If patriotic Americans who cherish liberty cannot find unity, then internal strife will become socialism's greatest ally. At its heart, division is contention. A free people must allow for different opinions, even vigorous debates. But contention is different. Limited government depends upon citizens who can listen to opposing views and then reason together in good faith. But contention attacks people. Unity simply challenges ideas. Contention assumes bad motives, whereas unity seeks understanding. Contention isolates us in ideological silos, and unity brings dialogue. Contention is emotional and personal. Unity is rational and respectful. And how emotion has taken politics over the last few years. Contention says you are the problem, and unity says let's reason together to find an answer. And contention spreads half-truths that spread as fast as gossip does. So if those of us who believe in limited government create contention, how can independent, honest voters tell the difference between a statesman and an agitator? When we mirror the anger and hostility of the left, we lose the moral high ground that makes our cause credible. And most people just want to live their lives in peace. They want to be left alone, and we need to tap into that desire. So unity is not sameness. It is not built on identical opinions, faith traditions, or cultural backgrounds. It rests on four shared principles strong enough to hold the free people together despite their differences. First is the belief that eternal law exists, that unchanging realities that do not bend to polls or political majorities. Did you know that democratic socialism, which is found in the Democrat Party today, denies eternal laws, replacing truth with relativism, which allows each person to make up their own rules whereby they live. This causes chaos. Second, the belief that unites us is that God knows the answers to our problems. When human law aligns with eternal law, the result is peace and prosperity. Now, this might sound religious, but it's not. It's not meant to be. God has given us the opportunity to discover his laws that govern civil affairs by reasoning together. This is not the role of religion in our society. Religion might hold up a lamp to shed light but not mandates to force adherence to any particular opinion. That's left for us to decide in our debates. Third, the belief that truth is discovered through mutual persuasion, reason and experience, and inspiration. Persuasion keeps minds open, contention builds walls. And finally, the fourth is a genuine concern one for another, the willingness to listen to seek the good of the other person. This is not sentimentality. It is a commandment of Christ to love one another. Now, goodwill is the enemy of socialism. Socialism cannot allow goodwill. Socialism must fan the flames of race, class, gender, and cultural differences to justify its existence and gain power. But limited government thrives in unity. These four pillars allow truth and better solutions to emerge naturally without coercion. They push back the fog of relativism that blinds us to the common sense solutions that exist, but we're not looking at because we're blinded by democratic socialism. However, unity has its limits. We can respect differing opinions, even those of democratic socialists, for they often raise valid concerns, such as housing, homelessness, poverty, but their solutions simply do not work in the real world. So there's some other enemies to unity. One is ego, pride, and self-interest, also create division. Another danger is rigid ideological certainty, treating our current understanding as complete, making us fear new information or new perspectives. I'm sure we all know someone who will not listen to any idea, any new idea anyway, because they already know the answer. When principle becomes an idol and humility is lost, persuasion dies and unity cannot grow. So the choice before us is we can create a higher kind of unity, one rooted in eternal law, mutual persuasion, and goodwill. If we built on that foundation, Idaho will prosper. If we do not, Lincoln's warning will become prophecy. A house divided cannot stand. A house united can.